The great outdoors. A term we've come to appreciate perhaps more than ever.
It's exercise, it's fresh air, it's everything that we know we need to do to make ourselves feel better.
I want to explore how people are utilising nature for their mental health.
Birds singing, and you can hear all those. I think what I would hope that they're getting when they're here or they're outside on a walk is this sense of relaxation.
And then up through the houses and back
Discovering what's beyond our doorsteps.
I suffer with really bad anxiety and depression. So for me, I'm quite agoraphobic, so for me to get out of the house is a big deal.
That can make us feel better. And I'll be testing the theory by running outside.
It's now hailing, and we're just going to loop back round.
Whatever the weather. To see how frequent time spent outdoors impacts my own mental well-being.
One of the questions that research hasn't answered is, what is the optimal dose of nature?
In the autumn of 2020, the country was in lockdown, and I was reporting on public gardens remaining open as a space for exercise.
The importance of public gardens and outside spaces are crucial, especially for people that don't have access. It could be a massive difference between them getting through lockdown and them not getting through lockdown.
A year on, I'm now on my way to Annabelle in Toaster to see how she's using her allotment to help people with their mental health.
Hi, welcome to Life at Number 27 Allotments and Garden. I would describe Life at Number 27 as a gardening and wellbeing therapy organisation. There is a term called social and therapeutic horticulture, which is the technical term, I suppose the proper name for what I do, but it's all around basically providing an alternative therapy option for people that are struggling with mental health that is outdoors, is a bit more creative and a bit more practical, and where you've got that sense of achievement and you get to create something and grow something.
Amazing. What's the kind of impact you see with those people that you work with?
There's a massive impact with the people that we work with from all ages. Like this year, we had somebody that's never grown a pumpkin before. They'd never grown anything before, and then just before Halloween, they harvested 3 pumpkins with their children that they could then carve and everything, and they'd never done that before, and it was a massive sense of achievement, and just to be able to say that they've grown that.
So, what I want to do is we're going to start planting. So we just dig
Anywhere?
absolutely anywhere. You just dig down as deep, about 10 centimetres deep. So you can have your gloves on first or not, so entirely up to you. What to do is to, so what we could do is literally just pop it in and that's it. But that's not how we do things like the Number 27 stuff. So what we want to do is try and think of something that maybe something you're focused on at the minute, or you want to improve or adapt or change that might help with your well-being, whether that's taking time out or doing a class or something, and have that in your mind as you're planting it, and then really time you're thinking about the plant, you're thinking about, okay, how's the plant going, what the plant needs, am I giving myself what I need as well? So if you feel like I'm planting myself now. So yeah, absolutely. So if you think about that, then what we need to do is sprinkle a little bit of this in the bottom, and that just helps give the plant a big boost.
Yeah.
That is always the goal. So everyone, when someone comes plants in here, they are planting a lot more than just a bowl.
So just a pinch?
Yeah, just a pinch, sprinkle it in the bottom. Perfect.
That goes in there.
Yeah,
Like that?
just like that.
Yeah.
Point it right up, and then we'll just cover them over. Using our hands, just cover it right over. Make sure it's nice and covered. And then that's it, and then we'll leave it because the rain's most likely going to come anyway at this time of year. And then come spring, they'll start flowering and look absolutely beautiful.
And from Life at Number 27 to a Challenge 27. Mind is the leading mental health charity in England and Wales. And this month, I will be taking on their 27-27 challenge, running 27 miles in 27 days, raising money for student mental health. And I'll be monitoring how my mental well-being changes as a result of running outside nearly every day. So it's a week before mine's 27 challenge, and I'm just about to sign up via their website. I've always been quite fit, but I've not really been keeping it up recently. My gym membership expired, so fitness has been low. And also I do badminton and go to the gym, which are both indoor things, so it'll be interesting to see how running outside near enough every day will help my well-being, hopefully. To help me monitor what's going on, I've enlisted the help of a sports psychologist who studied the relationship between outdoor activity and mental well-being.
If somebody was to run in the outdoor environment, I think because we know from research that exercising in general can improve people's well-being, being outdoors in general can improve people's well-being, and actually reaching your goals. So the achievement of doing the challenge that you're currently doing could as well contribute to your well-being. But I'm sure there's so many other factors going in your life over the course of this month that your well-being could definitely fluctuate.
And going back to looking specifically at the challenge, so the kind of questions that I'm answering as part of the questionnaire, lots of them are kind of like self-esteem based, and they look at like, are you feeling confident? Do you feel loved? Do you feel connected to other people? Do you think these are things that the challenge will help with?
The first kind of 2/3 of my PhD was centered around developing a questionnaire to measure children's well-being. And I spoke to loads of different children about what gives you good well-being. And lots of the things that they mentioned were about like determination to achieve my goals, having this sense of confidence in myself, connecting to others. So sounds like the measure you're using certainly does tap into what well-being is. I think one of the questions that research hasn't answered is, what is the optimal dose of nature? So how much time do we need to spend outside in order to receive those benefits?
So this is this morning's attire ready for day one. I'm fully set with my GoPro, ready to record my run. Got my t-shirt on and my laces just down below if you can see them. I've been putting it off this morning because the weather is not ideal, but it has just about stopped. So I'm going to take my chances now and see you on the other side. Just got back from day one of the running challenge, and as you can see I could probably benefit from being a bit fitter. Very sweaty, and I only did just over a mile because of the weather. But yeah, I do feel already a bit better myself. Didn't really feel like leaving the house today, especially because of the weather. But we did it, and we're going to keep on doing it. Day 3, and I'm back at home in my lovely New Forest today, so I'm going to try and do a bit of a longer run to take in these lovely surroundings. And it's not raining, so I'm trying to make the most of it. I feel safe enough to go out on my own. However, this is not the case for everyone. Ramblers Wellbeing Walks combats barriers such as safety and being alone by offering local organised group walks. What do you think is the benefit of having a group like this in compared to just taking yourself on a walk?
I think particularly for women, it's a safety issue. A lot of women won't want to walk out in the New Forest on their own. So that's one thing. But it is just the comfort and if you're a little bit unsteady on your legs, or you've had some dizzy spells or something like that, and you've got people around you, it's going to give you a lot more confidence if you're walking along with a group. It's really important for their social and physical well-being that they're actually doing something and being out there, and the fresh air. And there's been a lot of research around green and blue, the benefits of being near the sea and looking at the sea, and the benefits of being out in the forest. It's been shown to have great benefits for people's health.
The scheme has been running for a decade now, with 10 walks and over 400 walkers in the New Forest area, with all routes being led by a walk leader.
You have to look out for the various things that might cause people who are sometimes walking with sticks or not very stable on their feet, to have a look and see if they're going to be able to do the walk without any problems. So that's the risk assessments. And then basically when you come to do the walk, we have to talk to them, tell them what they're going to experience, and then just lead the walk, show them where to go.
And what do you enjoy about being a walk leader?
Oh, it's a great bunch of people. You're out walking with people who are like-minded. They like walking. So, you always find nice people on these walks. Don't think I've ever come across anybody I can't get on with. And then up through the houses and back down what's called
The support of the walking group welcomes people recovering from health conditions and is sometimes even GP prescribed. One walker turned to the group when she wanted to rebuild her fitness after having cancer.
And what's it like to be able to see your progress actually physically, rather than just thinking, oh, I feel a bit better today? You can actually see that you can do that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of keep telling people, like, oh, I managed to walk 6 miles today, and yeah, it's really good. Because I'd been quite fit beforehand, so suddenly only being able to walk to the end of the road was like a big shock. And I think the group's helped in terms of also there's some other people that have had health issues, so kind of just sharing those and encouraging each other.
Back home again today in the forest, and the sun is shining finally, so we're going to have a nice little run today.
But the weather wasn't always on my side.
Lovely weather for a run today. Definitely going to be a quick one, not over a mile. Let's get this done. So it's now hailing, and we're just going to loop back round. Who thought this was a good idea then? Anyway, did a real quick run, 0.8 miles, got out of the house, and it's done now.
Life at number 27 is preparing for spring, so I'm back to give our bulbs a visit and dig a little deeper into what people are feeling during a session here.
It's hard to say what's particularly going on in each person's mind and body, in whether they're in a session with me or they're outside in nature. I think what I would hope that they're getting when they're here or they're outside on a walk is this sense of relaxation, but also a chance to, for me, it's about being able to having a safe space where they can challenge things, connect with the ground, connect with nature, and just feel safe and welcome, but also this sense of freedom and ownership in having the allotment here especially.
So last time I was lucky enough to do some gardening with you, and you gave me a little insight into what you do in your sessions here, and we planted some bulbs. Are we able to see how they're getting on?
Absolutely, we can go and see the difference.
Oh, fantastic. It was so exciting. I'll let you lead the way.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely had a difference. Yeah, absolutely. They've been left untouched just to do their thing at their own pace when they're ready to. So, and they're doing that and at different paces, which actually is a great representation. Actually, it's like both of these we did at the exact same time, and actually this one might be ready to bloom a little bit earlier. Yeah, blooming at their own individual times when they're ready, and it's the same with us as well. As we can start a goal at the same time. One of us might think we're really behind, but actually we're still going to shine. We're still going to look great. We just might need a little bit longer for whatever reason, and we're going to take turns in flowering.
I think it definitely shows that things can get better, isn't it? It's a great metaphor for that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It is the fourth and final week of the challenge, and spring is most definitely here. Even though I'm alongside quite a busy road, I haven't had to go far to see these beautiful daffodils, and I'm already feeling a bit brighter and a bit sunnier, and just puts you in a good mood immediately, doesn't it?
But what about people who don't have a garden or a forest on their doorstep? Solent Mind, in partnership with Mayfield Nurseries, looks to resolve just that.
So plants for people essentially we have 8 community gardens across the city. So that could be Weston, Shoalin, in town today, Millbrook, and basically I offer community gardening sessions. So it's a chance for residents to get out of their high-rise flats. Maybe they don't have the luxury of a garden or a balcony, but we have vast green space around the estates that we can utilise and set up community gardens and growing spaces.
And why do you think it is important for people living in these kind of city spaces to have access to things like these gardens?
It's extremely important for people to have outside space. There's actually been a lot of kind of scientific models, as it's proven now that being outside can really aid someone's recovery. It can really help them with well-being. You can meet your neighbour, you can reduce isolation. It's exercise, it's fresh air, it's everything that we know we need to do to make ourselves feel better.
The project is all about growth, so I love planting things from seed and watching them grow. So I feel that I've grown as a person since I've been here.
And how do you feel like you've grown?
I suffer with really bad anxiety and depression. So for me, I'm quite agoraphobic, so for me to get out of the house is a big deal, and to come down on the bus is a big deal. I'd say to anyone that is struggling with mental health issues to just persevere and just try something new. And it's amazing what turning over the earth does for your well-being.
Day 27 is finally here, and I've just come back from a picnic with my mum and dad where I spontaneously decided to finish my run there and then in whatever clothes I was wearing, as I just had 0.3 miles left. So no footage, but my dad did catch a snap of me looking very happy as I finished off the run. Obviously, this beautiful weather does help, but for me, I think I can definitely say that running outside near enough every day has really helped me, especially with things like self-esteem and confidence and just feeling better in myself.
A few weeks on from the challenge now, and I sent you over my results. Were they what you expected to see?
Looking at your results, I mean, yeah, it fits the hypothesis that if we are spending more time outside, then our well-being increases, absolutely. I think it was really interesting for you to carry on completing that questionnaire after you stopped going outside, as it kind of shows that maybe there's a bit more to it. You can't just tell people, oh, if you go outside, you'll have a greater well-being. Maybe it's not as simplistic as that, because as we can see from your results, as soon as you kind of had to self-isolate because your housemate had COVID and you were working and on placement, that actually there's that small decrease.
Throughout the documentary, obviously, I've spoken to lots of different people, and a couple of the places I've been to you can actually be prescribed to by a GP. Do you think this is something that there should be more of?
Referrals to GPs for poor mental health, especially among young people, is huge, and it's more than the NHS can cope with. And actually, social prescribing time in nature is something which is becoming more and more recognised as a kind of valid intervention. Quite often people spend time in nature with other people, so it's not just about connecting to yourself or the environment, it's also about, well, actually, if you go outside and you do physical activity, whether or not that's walking, gardening, running, it doesn't, I don't think, particularly matter. I mean, I absolutely think social prescribing time in nature is really important moving forward.